All right, today we have the good old C4, and this is out of a 1965 Mustang. Pretty cool looking car. Everything is all white on the car, the interior, the exterior, everything is white. But this isn't actually an overhaul. This is here for a seal job because the wholesale account noticed we're doing some regular service on the car. It was leaking from the trans, looked like it was possibly out of the front. That's where they saw a couple of drips of the oil. But we're pretty much going to be sealing everything. I actually bought an overhaul kit here to do the seal job with. Going to do the pump bushing, and also this is the screw-in type modulator versus the later ones have the push-in type. So this is 65 Mustang. I think C4 came out possibly in 64, I think. So we're going to see actually if there is a pump O-ring on the front pump, because the later models they didn't have it anymore. So we're pretty much just going to chunk this thing down. I am going to look at the clutches, because if the clutches are burnt or flaked or anything, we're probably going to wind up doing an overhaul. But this here is your reverse. It's where the reverse piston sits. So we're going to take this cover off. There's an O-ring behind here. We're going to pull the linkage out and seal that. I got the rear seal out already, but I do have an extension housing, tail gasket. This is the intermediate servo for the band. There is O-rings and gaskets on here, and of course the front pump. So I guess we'll start with just pulling the bell housing off. Let me just grab a basket for all my bolts. I guess we'll start by pulling the bell housing off. Looks like this transmission may have been done already at some point. It is painted blue. So what I'll do is I'll get a little closer, and I guess we'll just chunk this thing down and see what we got. But as of right now, we will be doing a seal job. But I'm going to do, came from a wholesale account, but no matter where it came from, if it's leaking out in the front, I just don't do the front. I do everything, because you don't want it to come back with another leak. So that's why I bought the overhaul kit. All right, so I'll get a little closer and we'll start taking it apart. Okay, so we'll start again with the bell housing. You hear that noise in the background. It's raining pretty good outside right now. Okay, get this out of the way. Alright, so the pump's not going to probably come out so easy. We'll have to push it out from the inside. So what we'll do now is we're going to take this cover off to kind of release the band, and probably also loosen the band nut. But let's start just by taking this out. All this stuff is going to get sealed anyway. Usually pops right out. There we go. Well, it worked okay. We drove the car back here. And here's that gasket, so this all is going to have to be cleaned off. Alright, so what we'll do now is we're going to release the reverse. That has an O-ring and also a molded piston. So we'll see what that molded piston looks like. This here's a vent. This should come out. But it's pretty stationary in there. So you know what, we'll leave it. Okay, here is that back cover, and this is the O-ring. That's on that. Here is the reverse servo piston. It's not too bad. You know, these things usually get hard as a rock, but it's not that bad. Alright, the O-ring, of course, I'm going to change that. Alright, now I guess we'll flip this thing up and take the pan down. And we're going to also have to remove the valve body to get, you know, we're going to pry probably around with a sun gear to see if we can get the whole front section out. But I would want to remove the valve body anyway, because I want to make sure I change the seals on the linkage. That gasket, different type of gasket. This is cork. I use the door frame. Alright, so now we're going to pull the valve body off as one. That, I think I have to get my socket for, which is a 7/16. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the band struts. Okay, and we're going to pry it out from here, see if we can get everything out, or at least get it moving. Alright, let's see what we got here. I want to take this that band nut out because I'm going to be replacing those anyway. We can get it. Let's try from here. direct drum. This is in there pretty good. Doesn't seem like it's moving. Alright, maybe I'll just kind of spray this thing up. Looks like there's a bunch of crap here. Maybe I'll just spray this up and let it sit for a few minutes. See if we can get this thing moving. So just give me a few minutes, I'll be right back. Alright, let's see if this thing will push out. Okay. I just had to clean it up a little bit. I'm just stuck, you know, because there's all the crap on there. Alright, so this C-4 pump does have an O-ring and looks flat as a pancake. Alright, here are the two drums. Band, second band. Band actually looks good. Actually, the band is worn out. The band is worn out. You can see this side here. I hope you can see it. It's this is actually worn down to the metal, versus this side is good. So I'm gonna be putting a band in this thing, because that shouldn't be like that. So who knows, this may turn into an overhaul. Alright, I'm gonna have to clean some way here. Also, on the ring here, the later ones would take a bushing in here, and this has no bushing. Okay, you got washer, goes here. And inside here, we have another washer. Alright, so this washer we'll put away. This washer here goes on top of the stego. That. And then you have another washer here. Go like that. And then another washer. Replan it just like that. And then one more for the front. We'll go like that. All right, and the kick down. Kick down rod is going to slide right out. Alright, so we're going to stand this up. And we'll pull the extension housing off now. All right, the bushing looks okay. This gasket we're gonna change. And I guess this linkage we're gonna have to take out. I mean, we technically don't have to really tear this thing down any further. Also gotta get the modulator out, and I gotta get this band nut out. But, it doesn't have much further to go. Anyway. So let's take the output shaft out, because I may actually have to run this thing through the tank to clean it up anyway, because it's got all kinds of crap within the thing here where the servos ride. So let me get my pliers. I need my light because I can't see. There it is. Okay, there is the snap ring. Well, this will come out. Got your governor support. Rear ring gear with a washer. I'm going to release this bolt here. Okay, so I'm going to remove the band struts. Alright, these are the band struts for the reverse band. Alright, band looks okay. You know what, let's pull the linkage out. And this linkage is going to face up. You know, some of these C4s, they go up, they go down. Alright, you know what, let me just pause it for 1 second. I want to get rid of this oil. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to take the linkage out. It's a little tricky how this linkage goes. I'm going to pull this out so I'll give this face this time. Okay, so here's the linkage and the case. The seal in the case and the seal at the end of here is going to be changed. And then you have this piece. It looks like a lady's boot. That goes on the inside. I'll have to get a close-up to show you kind of how that goes. So we'll just leave this here for now. Alright, pretty much all that's left is this support housing, and underneath that is the park gear and the park linkage, and then you got a couple of feed tubes here. All right, no ring grooves in here. Actually, you know what, I'll just take the thing apart. Probably wind up putting the case in the wash tank anyway. It's only 4 bolts. And this should come right out. Okay, here's your 2 pipes. They are different lengths, but they kind of even out, you know, here. So that'll come right out. Here's your part, your washer, and then your linkage. Your parking pawl, I should say. Okay, so we'll release the spring that hooks to the case. Here is the spring, the park pawl, and the rod. All right, so this thing's pretty much totally stripped down. So what I like to do now is take a look at the clutch plates. So far we know we need the intermediate band. These are the forward clutches. Alright, they're not too bad. And the directs, okay, the drum looks good, no groove. Same thing with this, you want to check for ring grooves. Good. Alright, these aren't too bad. So we'll actually see some writing on them here. It looks like we're just going to need a band for this. Okay. And I want to open up the pump because we're going to be doing a pump bushing anyway. Here is pump washer. State will look good. Pump gears look good. Nice. I'm going to do a bushing. They said the hub just needs to be sanded down a little bit. Well, we're going to reuse that converter as well. Now let's take a look at this pump O-ring. This is well, it's not too bad. But this is the pump O-ring on the C-4, which was eliminated in later years. And it still has the gasket on it, which I'll have to probably run through the tank to try to get this thing off. And then the front seal and bushing. Okay. All right, so a note on this pump. You have a hole here on this stator, and this is on pretty much all the C4s. And I believe there is a ball and spring in here. This may be, you know, I'm trying to think of what that's for. I'm pretty sure it's for drain back, so it doesn't drain back, but you want to make sure that that check ball in there is free. And what you do is I have this sort of long snout with a slight bend on it. So I got it in the hole now, and I'm blowing, and it's good. I got air coming out. So that's what you want to check for. I think it's for, like I said, drain back, but I'm going to research and just make sure. If there's anything different, I'll post it in the caption below. I was tossed between drain back and possibly lube, but I think it may be drain back, I think. Okay, so that's that. Okay, the modulator. Actually, this thing was loose, it's bent, so we're going to change that. And when I take this modulator out, I haven't had it out yet, there should be a pin. Okay, so we have a little washer here, but we're going to be changing this. And there is a pin in between the modulator and the valve. These come in different lengths. And now the modulator valve. Can't really see what's really here. Maybe I can get a magnet and pull the thing out. Okay, there is the modulator valve. All right, now the only tricky part left on this thing is the linkage here. So let me get a close-up here, and I'll show you how this thing goes, because this could get a little confusing. And I think that's really about it for this C4. All right, so let me just switch angles. I'll get a little closer. Okay, so this piece here, again, it looks like the like a boot, like a lady's boot. The heel of the boot is going to go in between this linkage rod and this linkage rod here. It's going to go, these are attached together, but it's going to go in between that. And it's going to sit like this. See, it's in between. And then it'll sit just like that. And then the linkage goes through and you put your nut on. So that is how that goes. Because sometimes this could get a little tricky on how this goes. So again, in between this, these two pieces of linkage. Just like that. All right, let me just get back, switch angles, and we'll finish this thing up. All right, so I guess that is about it on this C4 out of this 1965 Mustang. Again, the clutches look okay, reverse band looks okay, intermediate band we're gonna have to change. It is worn here at the very end, pretty much worn down. You can see the metal. So we'll just get one of those. And we'll just continue with the seal job and get this thing back together. I'm going to heat up my wash tank now, get this in there to clean all, all in here. It's a lot of crap in here. Also, these gaskets stick pretty good. This one's coming off pretty easy, but normally they don't. I'm going to clean all this up in here. Wash this out in here, just wash the case up. So I guess that's about it for this. I thank you guys for watching this video. We actually did tear this thing down complete, even though we're just doing a seal job, which is fine. It's not that bad to put back together. And we'll see you next one. Thanks for watching.